Hello, this is Danny from Danny Design Studio, and this is the last project, the fifth project in June 2025 class in a box. And this is a little chocolate bar box, sort of suitcase style, vintage suitcase style, and opens up. If you open that up, that's the chocolates in there. And then its side little opening where you can release the chocolates. And I based this card developed from the cookie card that I did at Easter time. And I chose 4 chocolates that were all the sort of similar height and made a box for them. And as I was doing it, I thought this paper that I've just chosen for this class looks like sort of a vintage style suitcase. So then I thought, I could actually make this into a suitcase style with all these beautiful textured note dies. So that's how this came about, really. And I think chocolates are great. Then you can write your sentiment here. Whatever I've cut out here has been put there, and then you can write your sentiment. So it was just a fun way to do a little card. And this is this is tailor-made tags. That's it. Tailor-made tags is retired now, but I just love the way that the stitching is, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. So in your little paper packet is a whole host of stuff. Now you've got the lid already cut for you. Then you've got whatever came out of that you're going to use on the lid part. And then you've got a bit of a window sheet. You've got a few little dies that you're going to use. And then a couple of tags. And there's these little bits here as well that you've got. I've already glued that on, so I'm going to use that one. But these are so that you can glue that onto that little hole there and make it sort of a nice little style tag. So you could have your choice of the rounded end or the square end. So let us get started on this. So let's put this aside. We're going to do it in 3 different sections. So the way that this is made, I've made it with the base. Then you've got the lid that with the flap, and then you've got the lid that comes over and tucks in. So you've got in the base of your class in a box, you've got 2 lots of pecan pie. And we're just going to cut that now. So we're cutting it to 20.5 by 17. Then on the long side, we're going to score at 1.5 and 4. Opposite side the same, 1.5 and 4. And then on this side, on one side only, you're going to score at 1 and 3.5. So you get something like that. Okay, so let us put that to one side. We will score this. This is the base score it really well because you want it to fit well into and hold its shape really well. So give it a good old burnish. And then these two bits you're going to cut. So you've got two little squares here. You're going to cut up this end, that score line, so the second from the right hand side, and this one. Then cut this score line, so you taking those two pieces off, then taking this piece off, then you get this little flap here like a square, and then you're going to cut into that like that, and same on this side. So the first score line from the left, second score line, cut up, then cut this side off, that side off, so you get that little flap. It's actually a rectangle, not a square, but it looks sort of squarish. And then you take that away, so you get something like this. Put it more centrally. So then what you're going to do is, I'm going to just burnish this again. I want these. Just to hold its shape basically. And the other thing is, I just want to give this a little bit of strength. So I've got this piece of white card that I'm just going to shave off a little bit. Just slightly, so that it fits in. I've got the measurements on the tutorial in the class. So that is just going to go in there, just to give it some strength basically. Glue, some glue. I think that's the last of the glue. So that is going to go just in there, like that. Now this, get my silicone mat, so I need some glue. So just turning it over, these little square, rectangle, whatever you want to call them, is going to tuck in there like that, and then that is going to go in there. So little corner right angles. So same with this side. Make sure it's dry, and then I'm going to put this down here, and this is going to tuck over. So I'm just a little bit of glue there, bit of glue there. Problem is it is going to ooze out, that's the trouble, but you're not really going to see it. So give my thumb and forefinger a little press on this. it's gluing now. It's sticking together. So that's that bit. And then while I'm putting my fingers on there to make it stick, you're going to get this little piece. This is the flap bit. And then what we've got to do is cut our window sheet to shape. And then I'm just going to get some tear and tape, because that is the best thing to use with window sheets. So just going to pop that on there, and this side. Now this bit is quite narrow, I know, but the thing is, with the botanical not botanical, textured notes dies, it was difficult to know. Hopefully your tear and tape will just about fit on this bit. That's how thin it is. And then we take this off. With the textured note dies, if I went down to the next smaller rectangle, it just didn't seem, I wanted to show off all of the chocolates inside, and it wasn't going to do that if I went down. So there we go. I'm just going to tuck that in there. So then just going to burnish this again, and we might need to just cut into that in order for it to close, but let's see how it goes, because we want it to close, and sometimes if you cut into it too much it doesn't close properly. So this sort of goes on here, but I want this bit, and your one, I've trimmed my one, but your one is slightly bigger. It's probably ½ centimetre bigger. So what I would say is it's sort of bigger that way. So just in case your box is slightly bigger than what it should be for whatever reason, if you just slice ½ centimetre off if it's too big. So I'm going to place it sort of on that corner like that, so that the fold is on that corner. So I'm going to put some glue on here. And that just gives me a little bit of wiggle room. So remember to put it right up to the top. This goes right up. This will give its shape back if it's sort of going astray. There. So remember this bit and this side, that side. Make sure that these are sort of straightened up and right underneath the flap. So give it a few seconds more to dry. And then this bit will tuck in there. Yeah. So if you, it closes better if it's not cut. Sometimes you could cut into these, but it doesn't stay shut. So because I haven't cut it, it stays better. So there we go, that's the basis of your box. And then we're going to do the lid. So the lid part is 14.8 by 13.6, just 14.8. Probably cutting it the wrong way, aren't I? 13.6, wasting lots of card as usual. Score on the long side at 2.6, so the long side is 14.8, so 2.6, just slightly over, just to, so this, so that with your opening at on the right hand side, that will go over there. It doesn't quite fit, that must be the wrong, I've written down the wrong. Right, let's do that again. Let's do, I'm going from my, oh dear, got to cut into a new piece of card. Okay, so let's, I haven't written up my tutorial properly, so that's 12.5. I'm going to go with just a little bit more, 12.5. Sorry about this. So this is 2.6, so that's 12.5. 12.5 plus 2.6 is 11, 5, 15.1, so it's out 14.8, 15.1, slightly out. So let's have a go. 15.1. Let's try it this way. 15.1 by 13.6. So you're cutting on the long side, which is 15.1, and you're cutting, scoring, not cutting, 2.6, sorry, 2.6. So let us put that on and see if that works. So opening on the right, put that there, that should go, that's better, much better. So with this lid you are going to put your little DSP. Now that is slightly too long. Let's just put that together and snip it off. Now I don't know what the size is because it's in the, it'll be in the tutorial. I just pre-cut mine. So whatever I've said in the tutorial gives you a little border. So let's put that on. So that will go on the outer lid and the inner lid. Just to give it, use your DSP up. So that will go there. And then that bit is going to, remember to make sure your opening is on the right hand side always, and that is going to go like this. So let us glue down push it right up to the school line, and then glue. So that is the basis of your box. Make sure it's really glued well. While that is gluing, we can put this on, but we need to do a little bit of aging. So with these, you pop it the right way. You can tell what is the right way and what's the wrong way. This is the right way, and this one. So you need 3. I think I've got an extra one. So you need the middle one. Let me show you. So you need the middle one and 2 outer ones and this decorative one as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get my blending brush, which has walkies. Where is it? So let's get the pecan pie. So same colour. And age this. Come off the paper and then swirl it round off the paper and then come onto the got a bit of, take the excess off on your grid paper or scrap paper and then swirl it round so you get sort of an aged effect. So that will do for that. And then these little bits as well. And that one. Sorry about the shaking of the camera. Just swirl it round. And that is the wrong side. There we go. You could crinkle it up a little bit as well, just to give it that aged look. So there we go. And let's do this one. Now remember, this is quite dark and this is cream, so I'm not going to put any more on this. I'm just going to do it very lightly around that, and I might as well put my little sentiment on there. And I've got "You're the Absolute Best" went on there quite nicely. So I'm just going to age that again. I'm not going to put any more on. Now don't forget, once you've done this, it will all be, your hands will be really dirty. So I'm going to have to chance it and keep going. So we have got, let's go back to the original and see how we have done this. So you've got this bit here and you've got this bit. So what I would do first is take this bit. Now we need to score at 1/2 centimetre on either side. Remember to score and not cut. And then these ones I'm going to score just at one end at 1 centimetre. At 1 centimetre. That one at 5 centimetres. So remember to have it the right way up. Your lid is opening that way. I'm going to put that there like that, and I'm going to glue the larger scored section on here. Pop it in the middle where I think I like it, guessing. So around there, that's going to go in there. Now then you can see where you need to put this bit. So you're going to pop it there. You're going to take that bit with the 1/2 centimetre scoring, just do a little little valley fold there as well. Get your bone folder and then curve it in the middle a little bit. So you're gonna have it like that. So enough for it to stay. So like that really. It's going to be tucked in. So I'm going to put a bit of glue there and there, and then bring that down, bring it down so that it will glue, but also make sure that this little buckle bit is held in place, but just a slight curve on it. Like that. Then, while that's drying, this bit is on there like that, and that can go like that. So I'm going to just fold that there, and the same on this side. Take that, that's my fold on one side, take my fold and fold that this side. And then we're going to glue this on. So this, the larger part I'm going to put at the top, the smaller part at the bottom, and then you're just guided by where you want to put these. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on here. So I'm putting the smaller part on the bottom and the larger part at the top, but obviously you want it so that it's a bit fiddly, but you don't want it to extend beyond that window sheet, and it doesn't really. So just make sure the glue is drying. It's your sort of buckle bit. Same with the other side, the smaller part goes at the base. Just put it there and then bend it over. It's a bit fiddly, and you've got the bigger portion at the top, and then you're just waiting for the glue to dry. So just wait a couple of seconds more. So it's coming together. There we go. So you can see it's a lovely little closure with these little textured note dies. I love it. So then I am gonna pop some glue on here. And pop that on there. Then take my little linen thread that is in your little cellophane packet, and I'm going to double this. Whatever's left over I'm just going to use. So I'm going to pop that doubled, thread it through, and then with that loop I'm going to put the rest of those linen thread bits inside like that, so you've got something like that. Then undo that so it's got two on either side. You could do singly if you'd prefer. So then thread that through that little loop that you've created. If you haven't got much of a loop, then you could press it through with some other tool that you've got. So then just going to put a little sort of bow. Try and get it the right way. Bow on there. Try not to do it too tight because you want it to loosen, to go to one side really. Then a bow and adjust the little tails, tighten it, you know, get it so that you're happy with it basically. Sometimes that takes a little bit of time. And then make sure it's tight, and then whatever the excess is you don't want, I'm just going to cut that off. There we go. So that's your little tag. See what you see. So then I'm just going to do the last minute bit, and I'm going to put that on there like that. So again, get all my little messages. What am I going to say? Oh, happy day, which is quite nice. Time to celebrate. I like that, time to celebrate. That's white, so I'm just going to use the dry bit of my blending brush. Not going to add any more. Going to pop that on there with a bit of glue. That can go in the middle somewhere, and then that can just be attached to there, either centrally or at the top end, and that is your little box, your suitcase box, which is very cute. I'm very pleased with that, and get your little goodies to go in it. So I hope yours comes out well too. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have fun with this and do lots more, and I'll see you next time.